Hey guys, welcome back to another video. And as you may already know from my Instagram account, I bought a new Ftmo challenges. Matter of fact, I bought multiple Ftmo challenges. Why? Because they had a discount running in December, with 10% off on all challenges. So I bought multiple challenges, as you can see over here. I actually bought 4. This is my first Ftmo that I didn't pass, as you can see. And eventually, if you don't know it, I stopped trading after that, like the doing another challenge. I did do a lot of demo trading, just trading in general, learning and watching videos. um, and I wanted to start it in December, but eventually I didn't feel ready to go on in December, so I decided to give it one more month extra and started in 2024. As you can see, I bought 4 challenges, and I was considering whether I would buy another 100k or go for a low one which I can buy more frequently. So I decided eventually, after consideration, I bought 2 10k challenges right here and right here, which is currently the one that we are using, and 2 25k challenges. I was actually thinking about buying 2 50k challenges instead of 25k, but eventually I thought, nah, give me the 25k, and it's better than the 10k. um but I want to make sure that I do get my first payout. That's the number one priority right now. Get my first payout on one of those 4 um, challenges, and should be reasonable, right? Realistically, if I go through, like, after I've done my demo trading and all that kind of stuff, it should be realistic that I can get at least one funded account of those 4. Hopefully, of course, all 4 of them would be funded, but real funded accounts. But I'm just trying to be realistic that not all 4 of them will be funded accounts in the end. But besides that point, yeah, let me just go for the second FTMO challenge. I started with 10k, and let's get into the metrics. As you can see already, we are up with 375, which is good. It's around 3.75%. And I'm going through it. Basically, I started off with the first trade, with a break-even trade. Then on the second day, I took 2 trades, 1 loss and 1 winner. And then on the last day, I also had a 1 loss, 1 winner. And it sounds pretty good. It also is good, but it could have been much better. And I'm gonna explain you in a minute. When we go to the charts, you can see that it could have been already 10% easily, which it didn't. Okay. So basically, as you can see over here, actually 2 days, 4 trades on 1 day. I'm gonna show you guys how that is possible. Let me go into the charts. Yeah, let's go. So this is the first day, as you can see, 2024, and Asia session. Apparently, on the first day, on the 1st of January and the 2nd of January, it was not open, so I couldn't trade. And on the 3rd, I couldn't trade as well. Why? Because I bought the challenges, but you have to transfer the money, and they first need to verify or receive the money and all kind of stuff. Then you get the challenges, and I had to wait for that, so I couldn't trade on the 3rd of January. But on the 4th, look at this beautiful setup over here, right here, demand zone, and bam, it's bumped up to the upside, and without me. Why? Because on my first day, I was like, I had multiple alarms, like 12 o'clock, and then 12:30, 12:45, 12:50, and then for the one 1 o'clock, and I basically just slept over, over them all. So I missed this whole entire trade because I would definitely would have taken this trade. I was already like thinking about this taking this trade, um, but it did not happen because I was overslept. So basically, after that, when it hit that move, I was already like discouraged because it already made some big movements. I was hoping it would come back to this zone and then spice up, but it just continued. And I was awake around this point when it started to consolidate. So in this way, look at this. I was thinking about, okay, it can either go break here and then go down to the downside right here. A lot of value gaps. But it can also continue to the upside because it was already strong because of this demand zone. So it can easily go break down here and then continue to the upside. And there's a pretty good um, place right here, right? A demand zone. And if it would break this demand zone, there's a second one which I could have taken. So I could have easily, had 2 trades because I do 2 trades per day. If I lose one, I can still go for another one. So there was multiple chances that I could have taken. If this didn't work out, maybe the second one worked out, and then I could still get my money back. But this is where I already found out that I have a very big flaw, which is I always want to win, even though it's a small thing. And let me already tell you, I've changed from 1% per trade to 0.5 per trade until I get that 2%, and then that's my cushion, and then I can trade for 1%. So this is even like half percent of what I normally would have been trading. So that's already risking less. And also, it has 2 chances. I can also trade here again. So there was also less risk, and but there was still a potential loss that I can take on the first trade, which was a big flaw of me. I just don't want to lose. And because that's my biggest flaw, what's holding me back, I'm not being successful. I'm serious. This is I think the biggest flaw, or if not the only flaw that keeps me away from being successful. And you will see that again. Look at this. So I've missed the first trade. The second trade, as you can see, I took this, and it could have also been 4R, but it went break even. Why? Because it went to like 2.5R, right? And but I took it at the break, not at the retest. I took it at the break. Why did I took it at the break? Because it took out liquidity, as you can see, and break right through this place. So, in my opinion, it can never go back down even further because it already took out liquidity on the downside. It can only go to the upside right now. That was my opinion. So as you can see, it broke. I was happy. It went to the 2R 2.5 even, and then it started to come back. I was expecting it to come all the way down here, so I was, and it went even further, as you can see. But why didn't I use a? Look at this. Oh, wait. Give me a second, guys. Right here, like here. Yes, it was easy for you guys. So basically, it broke out 2.5R and started to come back on my real account, which where I put my real money on it, like a real broker. I already closed around here because I already was a little bit anxious about it, so I closed that around. But for the Ftmo challenge, I just moved my stop loss to break even and got stopped out right here. And I could have easily gotten back in because it's also a break, retest, continue to the upside. So I could have taken that. I did not take it because I think there were so multiple chances. 1 missed, 2 missed, 3 missed. I was like, I wasn't feeling confident to take another trade again. So I would just like, okay, I will stop for this. And when this happened, I was like, why didn't I just stop over like the 2R? Because of course I missed out two chances already. Like for the third one, I wasn't feeling that confident, so I shouldn't be, I shouldn't be aiming for like the 4R, which I actually do on every trade, 4R trade. And in this opinion, it could have went out correctly, but I was also thinking that, okay, I've missed a couple of ones. How great is the chance that it also gets that 4R again? I'm feeling more confident in trade in just closing at where it was like on a high point right here, like 2.5 is also good, right? But I did not. So eventually, this was a break-even trade on this day. So let's go over to the second day on the 5th of this right here. As you can see over here, multiple touches over here and multiple touches over here. Took out liquidity, come here, and again, and in my opinion, it was already strong. Took out liquidity on the downside, came back into this zone, and then spiced up to the upside again. In my opinion, I was going for long trades after this, and which I did. And look at this, I wanted to take this trade right here, like this, which would have been a winner right here. But for some reason, if I go closer right here, for some reason, this is just, let me just take out this. For some reason, I didn't take this trade because, of course, this didn't have a wick. So basically, I thought I would only take the trade when it comes around here, but it did not. But also, it has a place route right here, which I could have still taken, and that's why I draw this box. So I could have easily taken this trade, but I did not. And eventually, when it skyrocketed like here, I entered the trade. Like on that zone, I entered, and I hoped that it wouldn't get down here, which it did. Actually, as you can see, boom, I got stopped out. But when it came around here again and it stopped, I immediately went back upward with the trade, and yeah, as you can see, boom, it came up even to this place, even 2.5, and it started to come backwards right here, and I didn't. It felt like the trade of the day before, so I was like, no, I'm not getting into another break-even trade on this trade. So I closed out at 2R, and I feel good about it because, in my opinion, I felt like I've learned from my mistake in that aspect, um, because I've missed the first trade. I did the first trade wrong. The second trade, I felt like it comes to this point. I actually thought that it would go to another point, but it already reached that first point. Took out some very much liquidity over here. So, in my opinion, I was like, okay, let me just close off the trade. Then I'm good. So that's why I closed the trade. And as you can see, eventually it went all the way down. And the funny part is this. As you can see, this is another thing. If it would take out this liquidity over here, there is a big zone right here that I could trade. And let me just tell you, I already set this up before taking this trade. Like, I set it up on the same time, and I was already prepared to take this trade if this trade wouldn't work out for some reason. And it did. If it would go to the downside, I would have already taken this trade. But because it did not, I took this trade. And because I already had the 2R on this trade, I immediately closed this trade because these were limit orders. But the second day I woke up, I saw this. I was like, bah, this would have been an easy 4-hour trade. Like, of course, but it's now I could have let it down, but I knew I was so tired. Again, if you didn't know, I'm trading cat JPY in my zone. It's like 1 o'clock, 1 o'clock, 1 a.m., 2 a.m., 3 a.m., 4 a.m. And let me just tell you, I still have a job, 9 to 5 job, and I have to start at like 8 o'clock or something. So I'm not having much sleep like in during the week, because before work I'm doing the trading, and then I'm straight go to work, and I still have my dog to take care of and all kind of stuff. Um, so I don't sleep very much or that good. So sometimes because I'm injured also with my arm, I'm not going to the gym temporarily, and that also helps me because I can actually use that time to sleep for the evening to trade. And yeah, so that's the only way I can actually trade without any distraction, because London session is during my work session, during my work, and New York session I can sometimes trade because it's a bit during my break, and a bit after my break. Then now I'm just watching it. I can already trade, and then I'm just watching it. Sometimes it's funny because I'm doing customer service, so people call us, and I also do like have to respond on mails, and on the side I'm looking on the side of my head like, oh, it's moving, the charts are moving, the price is moving, I want to see my trade and all kind of stuff. So it's kind of funny, and I can only of course do that because I'm working from home sometimes. But if I'm working from the office, I cannot do that, of course. So that's why I'm saying sometimes I can trade New York session, sometimes not. Okay, so basically those were the two trades on the cat JPY. But as you already know from the Ftmo, I took 4 trades on that day, on Friday, which is because I had my break indeed, and I took a trade on, as you can see over here. Took 2 trades on US 100, which is the Nasdaq. I took the trade. I saw a potential thing over here, but again, I also saw this, which could be a breakout to the upside. Also, there was a demand zone right here. I just moved everything right here, but it was a demand zone right here. So I just felt like, okay, it can still go down here, and it actually did, as you can see, take out a lot of liquidity and then go upwards. That was what my expectations are. I also had a trade round here. Would have been a loser, as you can see over here, because my stop loss would be here, and I would got stopped out probably before it would hit my TP. Oh, I have no idea. But as you can see over here, I took this trade, and for some reason, weird reason, I got stopped out. On the Ftmo, I think because of spreads, and immediately I just went in for it. So that's why my entry is very close to my stop loss in this case, and this turned out to be a winner of 4R. In my head, first opinion was it could still go all the way here, but will it go immediately? Because this is also a kind of a SMC trade, took out liquidity, break out, come back, and then go upwards. That was also my opinion. So my goal per trade is 4R. It reached 4R. Could have I thought it could have been more. I could have easily put it at the same level as this, but I didn't want to be greedy. And I just got stopped out. I just stopped out at 4R, which is great because that's my goal on per trade. So nothing to be said about, and it did eventually went to the other side. So that was a great trade. This is basically my own thing in Dutch, because I am from the Netherlands, and yeah. So basically, those are my trades of this week. Um, like I said, it could have been easily, like easily, it could have been um, like the first phase. I could have easily passed it if the first trades were. I would have just done it without being hesitating and scared of being losing and that kind of stuff, because my backup trades, like the second trade, would easily also help. When it fails, the second one can bounce off of it and you know uh, take care of it. And when I lose 1R and win 4R, I'm good with 3R. So I just need to focus more on the process and doing my setup, doing my trades without any hesitation or thinking anything about, okay, what would happen, can I lose, can I win, can I did. I just need to think about, is it checking all the things that I have on my trading strategy. Is it checked off? Yes. Then I'm just taking the trade without thinking, rethinking, hesitating, or anything about it. That is my biggest flaw, and hopefully that knowing that and also targeting that for the 2024, that's my goal. Focusing on the process, focusing on my strategy, focusing on the psychology, and don't focus on the end result. Whatever will happen happens. That's it. I need to think about that and focusing on that only. And hopefully that will be, you know, the the breakthrough of my career of becoming a successful funded trader. So that's basically it for this week. Like the first week, as you can see, is going good. We almost at 5% of this challenge. Starting from next week, I'm trading with 1%. 1%, guys. Oh, I totally forgot about this. When I traded US 100, which is Nasdaq, I actually on the Ftmo MetaTrader, I set it up at 1%, and I totally forgot to put it on 0.5%. So I actually lost it with 1% and won this with 1% risk. But the other trades were 0.5. So that's why I got lucky on this one, because it was a winner with 4R. So I'm right now at 3.75R, which is good because 2R and above, 2% and above, is for me a go for 1% per trade. So next week I'll start with 1% per trade. If I go back to 0%, guys, I'm going back to 0.5% per trade. I'm actually trading like how you probably know him, Paladin. I've watched a lot of videos of him. He started off with a conservative trade strategy, which is 0.5%, and then make a cushion of 2%, and then trade 1%. If you go back to 0%, go to 0.5% again. So you're a conservative trader. Eventually, I do want to go over to a aggressive trade, of course, but I just want to get my first payout. That's what I'm aiming for, and then I'm going to look for it to grow and change things up. But for now, that's my goal. Okay, guys, again, thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.